Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about May. And this movie came out in 2002, and it's directed by Lucky McKee, and this was his first feature film. And it's a 90-minute horror movie with Angela Bettis, if I pronounced that correctly, who I'm not really familiar with. And Anna Faris was in it too. And I thought this movie was good. I thought it was a great first feature film overall. And the opening credits I thought were unique and stood out and reflected what's to come in the film without making it super obvious, and doing so in a way that I felt was different and interesting at the very least. And this movie was a lot different than what I was expecting. It was actually a lot more comedic than I was expecting. I was kind of experiencing like a Sam Raimi movie almost at certain points with how much I was laughing at parts. And I'm not sure how much of it was intentional or not, but I interpreted it as kind of supposed to be funny, and you're supposed to laugh at these moments. And that stuff I enjoyed. And Angela Bettis, I thought she did a great job. And basically, this whole movie almost felt like, okay, let's just give her a character to show off what she can do. And there are parts where she's an introvert and very shy. There are parts where she's supposed to be creepy. Other parts where she's supposed to not be either of those and just like any other normal person, and kind of intimidating at other points. And overall, I thought she did a pretty great job at playing all of these different sides to her character and added a lot. I also enjoyed the glass being cracked more and more as the film went on. And going into the movie, I thought it was going to be something like an Annabelle situation. But as I watched the movie, it really wasn't that. It's actually a lot different from that. And there was a scene in this movie that kind of reminded me of Darren Aronofsky's mother, which took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting that, but that was kind of funny for me. And the characters in this movie were very entertaining for me to watch. I didn't feel as though any of them were particularly annoying. Just like a Sam Raimi movie, entertaining. And I do feel as though if Sam Raimi directed this movie, I do feel as though it would have been a lot better, but still, I didn't regret what we got. And there were moments where there was a lack of music, and I thought that was an effective choice. And there were definitely some funny lines that I liked. Please leave a message after the scream. That was pretty funny. And this movie definitely puts certain spins on what you should be expecting from a horror movie, or at least if you're familiar with horror movies. There are some certain spins that this movie puts on them, and overall, I will say this much. I did like the first half better than the second half. I just found more to chew on in the first half than the second. Not to say that I didn't enjoy where things went, but you can also see that this movie was very inspired by a lot of things, and not that that's a bad thing. It was just something that I picked up on, and I was just enjoying where things were going in the first half a bit more. And as far as this movie being a horror film, there's really nothing horrific about it until like the last 30 minutes without spoiling anything. Not to suggest that there's nothing disturbing in the first hour of this movie. I'm just saying that if you're looking for a horror movie, this might not be something that you're looking for. Honestly, I'm not really sure who I would recommend this movie to, because it is kind of a hard movie to sell, now that I think about it. Like, do you want to give this a movie to just a slasher crowd, or just like a crowd that just wants a 90-minute horror movie? Do you want to give it to someone who's into art films? Do you want to give this movie to who exactly, other than me? Because I enjoyed it, but that doesn't mean anyone else is going to enjoy it. So it kind of sits in a weird, awkward space because of that. And my issues with this movie is that there was some audio peaking early on in the film that kind of took me out of it. And the pacing was also kind of slow at points, especially in the second half. And I was just wondering where we were going. And there were moments in the sound design that was just kind of clunky for me. And just didn't feel like it was a part of the environment. And also, there were some bad practical effects in this movie that just didn't look like they were there. They just looked like props to me. And I also had never once believed that these characters had jobs because they were good at them, which in a way is kind of a joke in the movie. But at the same time, I wasn't really buying it at any point. Overall, good movie. I liked it. Will I see it again? Probably not. Maybe one day. But it just, there's other movies I've seen in my life that I like a lot more. Other movies that I'm more likely to come back to that were made around this time, and also films that came out after. So, good movie. It's just not amazing. So, with all that being said, I'm going to give May a 6 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought of me and my social media links. They will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for The Crow. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.